The Last Man, 1973, there was a conference, and an environmental philosopher named Richard Sylvan proposed a science fiction thought experiment. The thing I like about environmental ethics is there's only one science fiction thought experiment, and the rest of it is about the real world. But in this science fiction thought experiment, the idea is you're the last person in the world, and there isn't going to be another person. Maybe you're about to get beamed up or whatever people do in the 21st century. I don't know. Have we improved upon teleportation in our science fiction stories? I don't know, but I stopped watching. But okay, so you're the last person anyway, and you will shortly be gone yourself. There's also one last redwood tree, and that's about it. All other sentient life is gone, and there's just you, and there's this last redwood. And you say, okay, I'm going to be beaming up in 5 minutes or whatever. What am I going to do for 5 minutes? And you say, you know what would be really cool? I'm going to torch that redwood before I go, or blow it up or something like that. That'd be, pretty cool. That'd be fun. Let's do that. I haven't done anything like that since I was 10 years old, so now I'm just going to blow something up before I get beamed up. Okay, so Richard Sylvan lays that out, and then he says, okay, so is there anything wrong with blowing that tree up? What do you think? I mean, you want to say, well, but most of the stuff you would normally say, you can't say. It doesn't belong to anybody else. Nobody else is going to be put out. It's not like future generations will be deprived of. It's like none of that is relevant. It's just you and the tree, and it's just for another 5 minutes. That's the only relationship that the tree is ever going to have with another sentient living creature. And the question is, can that tree provide somebody with some really cool pyrotechnic fun in the last 5 minutes of their relationship? That's it. Why not blow up the tree? The idea is, well, I've described the case in such a way that there are no consequences. There's no consequence for any living, any conscious creatures other than you, and there isn't any other consequence of any kind other than for the tree. The tree dies, you had some fun. Those are the only two consequences of doing this. And so Sylvan wants to set that aside and say, even if those were the only two consequences that were of any relevance at all, wouldn't there still somehow be something monstrous about blowing up that tree? I mean, it's an act of vandalism, and there's just something horrible about it. But that was the invention of environmental ethics. That paper invented environmental ethics as an academic discipline. It's like a whole pile of people went on to write papers on what would be wrong with that. I mean, there were lots of environmentalists around before then. I mean, Rachel Carson, obviously a pretty big deal, and so on. But it became a field of academic philosophy with that paper at a conference. So it was that was a paper that had a consequence, and a basic question, maybe the most basic question in environmental ethics, is what should be our attitude toward nature? What's the right attitude to have? And all of these things are relevant. Like what's the thing that's healthy for you as an individual soul? What kind of attitude is right for that? Is most habitable, or what's right for communities, and so on. What should be our attitude?